up. An NAU student prepares for American Ninja Warrior. Plus, a Flagstaff woman is promoting art as therapy. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Aleja Vallejo.
And I'm Hannah Ware. Thanks for tuning in.
Over 400 people across the nation compete in the televised fitness competition American Ninja Warrior. Among them is a Flagstaff local who is making big leaps to conquer the obstacle course. NAZ Today's Kiana Orozco has more on the story.
Isabella Adkins, a freshman at Northern Arizona University, has been offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. On March 24th, Adkins will be competing in the show's regional qualifiers in San Antonio. And if she conquers the course in the given time, she'll head to Los Angeles for the big show.
At the time, it didn't seem like something I could actually do. It was just like, oh, that's cool. It'd be like cool to do. And then now here I am, and I am doing it.
Like many of us who have wished for our dreams to come true, Isabella Adkins is finally able to live hers. The 19-year-old freshman from NAU has a hard time believing it's real.
I feel like it didn't really sink in for a while, though. Like, I was like, oh, I'm on the show, but like, I hadn't like realized, you know? It's really big. It's something I'd been thinking about for a while, but like, I didn't think it actually happened.
Adkins only has 3 years of experience with ninja. She says she could thank her background in rock climbing for her success.
And they both complement each other really well. Because like, climbing, your grip strength helps with ninja, and then ninja, like the dynamic moves and stuff help with climbing. So they just kind of complement each other really well.
In a male-dominated sport, Adkins says she's able to find motivation from the female ninjas that came before her.
It's like watching all the female ninjas. It was really cool seeing them progress, finally being able to like clear like qualifiers and then clear stage 1 and stuff. So it was really cool just to watch the progress and see if maybe I can be one of those people too.
Adkins is currently training at Summit Ninja Warrior Gym here in Flagstaff for the big day on March 24th. And no doubt there are thousands of people in Flagstaff who will be cheering her on. Kiana Orozco, NAZ Today.
Navajo Nation officials are looking for anyone who purchased a car from a chain of dealerships called Tate's Auto Group. The dealer was accused of manipulating consumer information on financial documents. Consumers who were affected are eligible for a part of the $450,000 settlement. As many as 4,000 consumers were impacted and should contact the Navajo Human Rights Commission by March 18th to file a claim.
A Navajo woman is being appointed head of the Indian Health Service. President Joe Biden announced his nominee, Roslyn So, to oversee the agency that provides health care to more than 2.5 million Indigenous Americans. The veteran administrator has worked for the health service since 1984.
With National Women's Day this week, we celebrate amazing women in our lives.
Here in Flagstaff, we call attention to a woman who organizes art workshops centered around bettering mental health. Julia Castro has the story.
Thanks, Hannah. Estefania Villaquiran, a clinical psychologist from Ecuador, is the workshop coordinator for Liminal, a pay-what-you-can community center.
Estefania Villaquiran volunteers as Liminal's workshop coordinator, conducting sessions twice a month on Thursdays. These workshops are guided art activities that focus on specific mental health aspects, such as self-awareness and stress. Through these experiences, she uses art as therapy.
Also, I love art. Like, I wouldn't be able to live in as a psychologist without art.
She found an outlet of creativity through art therapy and wanted to share that with the community.
And then, like, I started to do it myself, like even the art therapy activities itself, and I noticed, wow, this is like a channel that I can actually understand myself more.
Geran says she is planning on getting a master's degree in clinical mental health through NAU. She wants to use art through these workshops to better help the mental health of those in the community.
Just like recognizing that I'm a human, trying to understand another human, and why, like how I can make their life easier, but because they want it.
Liminal and the workshops are donation and volunteer based. The theme for these workshops changes monthly, and the theme for this month is mindfulness. If you are interested in attending, visit liminalflagstaff.com. Julia Castro, NAZ Today.
Libby Miller is officially Flagstaff High School's new principal. This announcement comes after Miller's appointment as interim principal in December. She previously worked as a middle school principal in Oregon.
The Flagstaff Library is celebrating 2 years of offering special craft kits for kids. Originally created for the pandemic, the kits have proven to be popular. NAZ Today's Hannah Ware spoke with library specialist Sarah Weatherby, who started the program.
I am reporting from outside the studio today at the East Flagstaff Community Library, where every Monday they do craft kits for kids of all ages from 2 to 6 p.m. And I'm here with Barbara Tate, the supervisor of the library. Barbara, could you tell us a little bit about this program?
Yeah, sure. So this started way early on in COVID, so we've been doing it for about 2 years. It was all the brainchild of our library specialist, Sarah Weatherby. So every Monday we put out about 50 kits, so if you do want one, come by as soon as you can on Mondays. If you need us to reserve one for you, you can call us and say put 2 aside and we'll save them for you.
All right, and you guys did start this during COVID, so could you tell us about how this is COVID friendly and how you guys keep socially distanced during this time?
Yeah, so as you can see, we just roll the cart out and you can come up and get the number of packets that you need, and you don't even have to go inside if you don't want. And gotten really good feedback. Like, people will sit at the kitchen table, and one parent wrote that, like, I sat my kids down and they were occupied for 2 hours while I got to, like, plan dinner and get all this stuff done. So I think it's been helpful to parents during this time, which is always good to hear.
All right, and what's the kind of age range that any kid could get these kits for? And what do these kits include? Does it include coloring? Is it brain stimulation? What kind of stuff does this include?
So they're different every week. We advertise for ages 5 to 17, but you could go a little younger, depending. And we actually have some adults who take advantage of them as well. But they all have really detailed instructions, and they include what other materials you need. So we don't include basic craft supplies, but if folks don't have that stuff at home, we can provide that. So we've had some people take advantage of that.
Well, that is a really great way to build the community here in Flagstaff. Make sure to check out every Monday from 2 to 6 p.m. and get your kits, whether you're an adult or you're getting it from your kids, age range between 5 and 17, correct? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, that's all we have. Back to you guys in the studio. Expect delays on State Route 179 this Friday. The road, which runs from I-17 to Oak Creek and Sedona, will be restricted to 1 lane at milepost 300 as the workers resurface the highway. For more information, visit az.gov. Coming up, gas prices are hitting record highs. Also, the latest on the war in Ukraine.
A small winter weather advisory is on its way to Flagstaff. Looking at our satellite right here, we have all of this precipitation coming into northern Arizona tonight and going to give us a beautiful winter wonderland tomorrow morning. I'll have more on weather, so stay with us after the break.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Welcome back. Gas prices are at an all-time high. Experts warn the impact will likely be felt beyond the pump. CNN's Pete Muntean reports.
New record-high gas prices are pumping drivers full of anxiety. Uber driver Mohammed Tarani says he's done circling the D.C. area for rides. Instead, he waits in this lot with his car turned off.
A few weeks ago, it was like $3. Now it's like jumped to $1. For drivers, it's bad. It's not good.
AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline hit $4.17 on Tuesday, up more than 55 cents in only a week. Some of the worst prices are on the West Coast. This station in Pasadena, California, is actually below the county average.
Yeah, it's horrible. You can't even live anymore.
It's a big jump.
Prices are soaring since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. President Joe Biden's latest measure is to ban imports of Russian oil, meaning gas prices could go up even more.
The decision today is not without cost here at home.
Will have a short-term effect, and gas prices are going to continue going up as a result of that.
The impact could go far beyond the pump. Retail groups fear Americans will lose extra spending money for things like food and clothes. Even summer trips could cost more, with jet fuel just reaching a 14-year high.
Gas prices find their way into the cost of virtually everything.
Relief can't come soon enough for Uber drivers like Mohammed Tarani. What he pays for gas comes out of his paycheck.
It is tough. But what can we do? It is what it is for now.
The House of Representatives plans to proceed on a bill that clamps down on Russia. This bill would in part ban Russian energy imports and challenge Moscow's place in the World Trade Organization. This comes as U.S. officials expect Russia President Vladimir Putin to escalate action in his neighboring country. John Lornick reports.
Ukrainians remaining defiant in the face of danger, protecting their country from the Russian invasion.
It's our land, independent. Nobody can enter our land. And if someone is entering, we have to answer.
At least 474 civilians have been killed in Ukraine since the attack started nearly 3 weeks ago, according to the United Nations Human Rights Office. And U.S. officials expect the threat from Russian President Vladimir Putin will increase.
He's escalating. He's more prepared than ever to consider doing some unreasonable damage and terrible atrocities in Ukraine. Plus, he's looking for an opportunity to strike out at NATO.
The U.S. is sending 2 Patriot missile batteries to Poland to be used as a, quote, defensive deployment aimed at countering potential threats to the U.S. and its allies.
The pressure has risen a little bit, and that Putin is feeling it. He can't get back at the United States for the increasingly tough sanctions, so he's going to use what he has, which is the threat of weapons of mass destruction.
The UN says more than 2 million people have fled Ukraine since Russia invaded, and they're hoping for an end to the fighting.
We're not Nazi. We're just on other land with hands up. Please, we want to live. We want to be happy. Stop shooting, please.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses.
You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Tori Smith, here to bring you weather on this wonderful Wednesday evening. Now, we have winter weather expected in the forecast, and preparing for that snow, this is your friendly reminder to have a full tank of gas, blankets, a first aid kit, water, as well as non-perishable foods. And if you don't want to go out and check those road conditions, you can check them out at az511.gov. Now, looking at Flagstaff currently, our current temperature right now is 42 degrees. We have cloudy skies moving in as our barometric pressure is dropping below 30, and southwest winds of 18 miles per hour. Those gusts can be very strong as well, so keep an eye out for that. Now, looking at our current satellite right now, we are seeing precipitation on the way, all that dark blue right there coming from California and Nevada, pushing its way into northern Arizona. That should be hitting tonight about 1 a.m., maybe 2 a.m., and then last until tomorrow evening. Now, moving forward, we see our daily almanac. We are right on average with those temperatures. 47 is the high for today, 23 being the low tonight. Thankfully, nowhere near those records. We are starting to finally see some springtime temperatures and no precipitation added from today, possibly tonight, but not today. And for the high temperatures across the state for today, relatively warm. We saw 40 degrees in Grand Canyon, 57 degrees is a high in Prescott, 72 degrees is a high in Phoenix, and 54 degrees is the high in Page today. Now, looking at tonight, we are going to be seeing a forecast low of 16 degrees, a first quarter moon tonight, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit hard to see because of those increasing clouds, and our sunset tonight right after the show at 6:29 p.m. Now, jumping into tomorrow, we are going to be seeing a forecast high of 39 degrees, snow showers as well throughout the day, about 80% chance, dying off into about 30% chance tomorrow night. Now, looking at across the state for tomorrow, we are going to be seeing relatively the same temperatures, slowly getting warmer throughout the week as well. So 51 is a high in Kingman for tomorrow, 51 is a high in Prescott as well tomorrow, and 73 is a high in Phoenix for tomorrow. Now, jumping back here to Flagstaff, we are going to be seeing Thursday, we're having those snow showers, 39 is the high, 15 is the low, so 80% chance throughout the day, and then at the nighttime, about 60% chance. We are seeing a warming trend as well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday getting even warmer. Finally, those spring break temperatures are coming in for next week. That's all we have for weather, but definitely check out sports after the break. Stay with us.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Kristen Chancellor. Let's get into things all Northern Arizona sports as we take a look at collegiate sports. Starting off, the NAU women's basketball team is in Boise, Idaho, competing in the Big Sky Championship. The NAU women's team took the win in their game against Montana yesterday, 75-57. The Lumberjacks have held strong throughout the game with key senior players Lauren Orndorff with 18 points and Karika Rashid with 17 points, leading this team to victory. The Lumberjacks came into the game in the 4th seed after winning their final home game against the Idaho Vandals. The women's team this season has stayed steady in winning games and being heavy on the offense. They have struggled on the defense, especially when it comes to rebounding. However, that did not seem to let them up against Montana, and they took control over the court. The NAU women's basketball team is currently playing the number 8 seed Northern Colorado. These two teams have faced off this season 2 times, leaving the Lumberjacks with a record of 1-1 in their games against the Bears. The score for the Lumberjacks currently at halftime is 39-24, with the Lumberjacks leading. Staying on the court, the men's basketball team is also in Boise for the Big Sky Championship. The men's team has struggled this season, having a record of 9-22 going into the tournament. The Lumberjacks have had difficulties competing with opponents and are consistently outplayed. One positive thing for the Lumberjacks, however, is sophomore guard Jalen Cohn, who leads the team in scoring. Cohn has made a massive impact on this Lumberjack team as he's a constant inspiration for coaches and teammates. The Lumberjacks have not won a game since February 10th and need to find their groove to keep them as a strong opponent. The men's team faced off against Eastern Washington for their first game of the Big Sky Championship, but unfortunately the Lumberjacks lost their game 78-75. Finally, let's take a look at track and field. The NAU track and field team swept the Big Sky Indoor Championship on February 26th. The track and field team has dominated all season and has been a continuous team for NAU to bring home championships. The women's indoor track team was the 189th conference champion for NAU, and the men's team was the 190th, which was celebrated recently by the NAU Athletics in the new High Performance Center. The NAU track and field team looks towards nationals this upcoming weekend. NAU Athletics is actually sending 3 athletes to nationals, including Nico Young, who was recognized earlier in the season as Big Sky's outstanding performer. NAU track and field coach Michael Smith is not only training athletes to be champions, but is also building a legacy. Coach Smith was just awarded Big Sky Men and Women's Coach of the Year. We will look to follow all of these teams as they compete in their next games and meets. That's all we have for sports. Stay tuned for a weather recap after the break.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism.
My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?"
The next few weeks, she just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Welcome back, y'all. Let's take one last look at weather. Thursday, we have 39 degrees, possible snow showers as well throughout the day, 80% chance in the morning and then 60% chance at night. And moving forward, we're seeing a warming trend continuing into spring break weather. So Friday, 40 degrees, going to Sunday at 55 degrees, and starting the week on Monday, 58 degrees. That's all we have for weather, but what's going on desk?
Thanks, Tori. I just wanted to have an announcement for tonight for our audience. It is NAU spring break next week, which means that our whole entire crew has the week off, which is very exciting. Aleja, how do you plan to spend your spring break?
Well, I'm actually going to be going home to Las Vegas for spring break, spending time with my family, as well as spending time with my little brother. He really wants to go to the movies with me, so definitely going to be doing that, and taking some much needed time to spend with my cat. How about you?
Well, I am going down to the valley, so I'm going to try to go hiking and hang out with friends and family as much as possible, and hopefully cover some big stories in that big city. Also, another reminder is St. Patty's Day next Thursday, so if you're celebrating by grabbing a pint, just make sure you find a way to get home safe, whether that's a friend, an Uber, or a designated driver.
Yeah, well, that's all we have for tonight's show. Please make sure to check out our social media. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. So please tune in for all your news, weather, and sports updates. Have a good night.